What is going on, guys? My name is Brandier and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to top 10 scariest haunted places you've never heard of. Now, in my time, I have heard loads and loads of haunted locations, whether it's in America, England, wherever. But there has been a couple of times like, I literally decided not to go on YouTube. I literally just go in a book or something. There's like another famously haunted location, and I still don't know if it was in England or just never heard of it in general. So today I'm very intrigued to find out how many locations that I have missed out or just never heard of. Because I feel like I've heard of a few, but we'll find out. I'm going to make an estimate. I've not heard of 4 locations on this list, because I promise you I have heard of a lot of locations. So yeah, let's take a look at some of these haunted locations.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest haunted places you've never heard of. For this list, we'll be looking at the less traveled eerie sites around the world that are supposedly haunted.
I'm ready for this.
Which locations do you find the most fascinating?
Let's find out.
Number 10, Poveglia Island.
Ooh. I've heard about this one straight away. I've heard about this location. Poveglia Island is in Venice, I believe, and was considered the darkest place on earth, with thousands and thousands of deaths.
This Italian island is ripped straight from a nightmare. Found in the Venetian lagoon between Venice and Lighthouse.
Knew it, told you, Venice, I told you.
Heavy history with plague.
I know my places, I know them.
How many people would you say were burned over there?
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Thousands of people, see?
From the 1700s to 1814, the island was used as a quarantine station to house the sick. Suffice to
I know
say,
my locations, bruh.
death ran rampant on the island, with so many isolated from society and their loved ones.
During the 17th century, in order to let the people live here for the 40 days, in order to control them if they were healed by the plague or not.
The island would later be converted into a mental hospital, which was also eventually closed.
Of course, mental hospital.
And that certainly ups the creepiness. Put simply, Poveglia has
That place in the dark, definitely well creepy. Now look at that.
Which has turned it into a hotspot for paranormal activity. Number 9, D'Souza Chawl.
Alright, I've not heard of that one. That's the first one.
A chawl is a type of low-income residence, and the D'Souza location is said to be one of the most haunted areas in the country.
That is
The chawl
huge.
is home to an unguarded well, and legend has it that a resident of the area fell into the well and died a slow, painful death. Locals report seeing her spirit wandering around the chawl, though most claim that she is harmless. Regardless, many people still avoid the area at night, terrified of the woman's wandering spirit.
At least she's harmless.
Number 8, Al Jazeera Al Hamra.
Okay, never heard this one either. That's another one.
Utterly desolate. There's literally no signs of life.
Found in the northeastern tip of the United Arab Emirates is the abandoned ghost town of Al Jazeera Al Hamra.
That is huge. Look at that ghost town.
Pearl fishers in the early 1800s, and it grew.
That's a
in size
huge
and
place.
population throughout the years. However, the pearl market collapsed in the 1920s, and the town was largely abandoned in 1968, when most of the residents agreed to relocate to Abu Dhabi. It remains as such to this day, and the eerie atmosphere has given rise to numerous ghost stories. It is said that the deserted town is populated not by humans, but by spirits known as jinns.
Fair enough.
Number 7, Ancient Ram.
I've heard of H. Ram Inn. I've heard of that. That one is in literally the other side of London. It is in England. I know that. I've heard of this one. This is actually on my bucket list of places to see, or go to, stay overnight. This is actually on my bucket list.
It's amazing what types of buildings you can find in England. Nestled in the small English market town of Wanton-under-Edge is the Ancient Ram Inn, a building that was constructed all the way back in the 12th century.
The history of the ancient ram is that it was built on a pagan worshipping site.
It was originally
It's like
built
burial
to
ground or
house the
something, wasn't it?
construction company that was building the local church, and it later became an inn and pub. The building is extraordinarily old, and it definitely looks it.
It does look
Of course, this
creepy.
only lends to the unsettling atmosphere.
Doesn't even look nice from the outside.
We went out to the stairs, point blank on the stairs. There it was.
The incubus.
Incubus. That was the most terrifying thing we've seen.
You think we might be up against the incubus tonight?
Definitely.
Those who religiously consume investigative paranormal shows might recognize the Ancient Ram Inn, since it has been featured on the likes of Ghost Adventures and Most Haunted.
John thinks that he felt some kind of a possession, and I got that extreme pressure in my head.
Well, we're ready to see just how evil you are.
Number 6, Red Onion Saloon.
Not heard of that one. That's like 3 now, I think.
Those who wish to experience
Stairways to Heaven,
the
yeah?
Wild
Yeah,
West
okay.
Saloon should make their way to Alaska? Yup, Skagway to be exact.
Here's a 6-shooter. You'll be wanting the senorita pistols as well? Everything. House policy.
A small borough of about 1,200 people, Skagway is a hot tourist attraction in the summer, and everybody flocks to the town's Red Onion Saloon. This saloon was built in 1897 when Skagway was in the midst of a gold rush. Nowadays, tourists report smelling women's perfume wafting through the halls, perhaps a remembrance of the building's time as a bordello.
Okay, so people definitely get some in this building. They definitely get some.
Others claim that the building is haunted by the spirit of a former madam named Lydia. Number 5, Wolfegg Castle.
Okay, I've not heard about this location either. I've not heard this one. There's actually quite a few in it then.
This is an old Gothic castle found in Bavaria.
Gothic.
Dated to the mid to late 13th century. Eventually, the castle tragically fell into disrepair, but it underwent significant renovations throughout the late 80s that restored it to its former glory, and it is now open for tourism.
That's cool.
Wolfegg Castle is said to be haunted by the ghost of Clara von Helfenstein. The rather historically inaccurate legend says that Clara was killed by her husband after he discovered her sleeping with his nemesis.
Why do I feel like every ghost story, a lot of them is killed by their husband or wife or something? It makes me worry. It makes me worry. What the fuck? There's a lot of stories saying, oh, just because they cheated on him, now he gets killed them and fucked them up. I was like, it always ends up with marriages. I noticed that.
A cave is also located beneath the castle.
There's a cave?
People reportedly hear strange noises coming from underneath its floors.
I want to go to a cave.
Dark depths of a cave. Anyone else have chills?
I want to go to a cave. I want to go to Hellfire Cave specifically. That is in England. I know that. That I like to go to. And that's where Stranger Things was filmed. So I like to go Hellfire Caves.
Number 4, Dao Dan Park.
Know that one.
Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh City is Dao Dan Park, a popular destination for residents and tourists alike. The park has a long history with the nearby Reunification Palace.
Well, that looks pretty.
Part of its grounds. Work on the area continued well into the 20th century, complete with major additions like a pool and tennis court. The area was finally given over to Vietnam when French forces withdrew from the country in 1954, and it became known as Dao Dan Park. There are now reports that the area is haunted.
I would imagine that place haunted. It looks pretty. I would not think of that.
Said that the ghost of a lovesick man wanders the park at night and frightens the locals.
Oh, that's nice.
Number 3, St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Not that one.
Lighthouses are just naturally creepy places, and they lend themselves very well to ghost stories. The St. Augustine Lighthouse is found on Florida's Anastasia Island, just to the east of St. Augustine. This is an active lighthouse and was built throughout the early 1870s. It's a beautiful location, but it also harbors some dark secrets. The lighthouse has long been known for its supernatural activity, and it's been investigated by numerous ghost hunters and paranormal programs.
That's fair.
Number 2, Leap Castle.
I've heard of that castle. That one is also, I believe, in Ireland. I'm annoyed at the fact that I recently went to Ireland and I missed all these locations that I could have went to. I missed Leap Castle, I've missed Lotus Hall, I've missed the Hellfire Club. There's loads of places in Ireland that are notoriously haunted and visited by the devil that I like to go to. I've been to the Crown's Bar, and next to it, what was it? The Robinsons. Robinsons had a doll in it, which is worth millions, and it's literally in a casket, and it's apparently very haunted. It was found, I believe it was from when they was trying to find objects from the Titanic. They found this doll in the sea, so now they claim it's haunted. I think. I believe that's what it is anyway. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've actually seen that doll and I've taken a picture of it. So I've actually been to a few stories and stuff, seen stuff. But I want to go to these places, man.
Castles just have a creepy aura about them. They're cold, old, and expansive, and they often have long histories of violence. Leap Castle is found in central Ireland, and it was significantly destroyed in 1922 in the midst of the Irish Civil War. During renovations, workers discovered a dungeon containing 3 cartloads worth of human skeletons that had been impaled on wooden spikes. Unsurprisingly, Leap is the self-described world's most haunted castle.
Yeah, it's in Dublin as well.
Said to contain a spirit that smells like a decaying corpse, 2 ghost girls named Charlotte and Emily, and a mysterious red lady who walks the castle with a dagger. Simply, You don't want to be in here.
Of course you get to see him in Shining. Of course you do.
Red Ram, Red Ram, Red Ram. Number 1.
Number 1?
Luang sewu.
Okay, I've not heard of this one. Not heard of this one.
Derived from the Javanese phrase for 1,000 doors, Luang sewu, located in Java, Indonesia, once served as the headquarters of the Dutch East Indies Railway Company. Construction began in 1904 and was completely finished by 1919. Unfortunately, the building has seen its fair share of death. When Japanese forces invaded Indonesia during World War II, they took over Luang sewu and used its basement as a torture dungeon and execution chamber. Unsurprisingly, the building quickly earned a reputation and has long been thought of as a source of paranormal phenomena. Even Indonesia's Ministry of Tourism recognizes it as one of the country's most haunted locations.
Alright, fair enough, fair enough. I feel like that was like half and half. Like there was like places that I've heard of and there was like half places I've definitely not heard of. So yeah, it was like more than 50-50 really. Like, you know what, fair enough. There were a lot of like popular ones on there, like Lep Castle, Ancient Ramin. There were quite a few like popular ones on there. Yeah, at the same time, it was like interesting. Like there's like ghost towns. I've not done a ghost town or I've seen one. I'd like to do a cave. I would love to do a cave. That is definitely on my list. There's like a few locations on there that is on my bucket list anyway. Like the Ancient Ram's Inn, that is on my bucket list. Lep Castle, I don't think it was on my list, but I definitely heard about it and wanted to like see it. I don't think there was any more. I don't think so. Like obviously I've heard of Venice Island. I would love to see that, but that's just probably never ever going to happen, not in a million years. But yeah, that was interesting. I did enjoy that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, then make sure you give a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Make sure your notification bell is on, and I will see you guys later. Take care. Goodbye.